Yo, 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 welcome back to the SHU Program. Jay, Marvin, how y'all doing, fellas?
Hang it in here, man. We back again, back again.
Yep, doing
Yeah,
good.
got a couple big things to hop into today. First and foremost, let's talk about Call of Duty Season 2. I know that's number one on the list for most people right now. Couple new releases. Got Sheikah Island. That's been pretty good. Resurgence map on that. A couple new weapons. A couple new game modes. They brought back the museum level for multiplayer. How are y'all liking Season 2 right now?
Let me start off, Marv, because I know you got trust points. I think that's how we're gonna do all these Call of Duty. I'm gonna say my piece first, and then Marv gonna have his little response. I'm enjoying it so far, but I've only had, as you guys already know, I've only had like a couple of days to really take in Season 2 because of the workload I've had this past week. But just from what I played so far, I like some of the changes. I will say I'm going to miss having the large backpacks, but I do understand they want to keep all the kill streaks kind of low. So that's I guess that's okay. I'm just have to adapt. So far, I just have to play a little bit more to see what I'm really missing or see what I'm really enjoying from Warzone. But for the most part, I mean, we just got to see how the changes really just see how the changes really affect the gameplay so far. I haven't seen a giant complete difference, but I have noticed in from multiplayer, it looks like they took away tier 1 completely. I didn't think they were going to take away tier 1 completely. I thought they would at least have it side by side with hardcore mode, but it looks like hardcore has replaced tier 1 completely. I'm pretty sure EJ and Marv are going to enjoy that. They're going to like that. I'm with it. It's cool. It doesn't matter. So that's pretty cool. I did also, as a dislike, I would say that I expected more content to be in the shop. There's not a lot of content in the shop. There's like one little skin pack. I think one or two skin packs. Because it looks like this season is more ninja Japanese themed. And I'm all with that, but this was a good opportunity to get some money, and y'all obviously don't want my money. So Activision, give it the program. Hopefully some packs will be released over the coming days, but that wasn't a good start. You should have had some good skins to jump off with. But so far, yeah, I got to play more. They also brought the museum map back. I guess they got that settled with the Getty Museum and found some way to get it back. And that was actually my favorite map in the beta when we played the beta. So it's back now. Got to play it for the first time today, and it was fun. Just got to get used to it again because I forgot all the major places, but got to get used to it. So I'm excited for that. So yeah.
All right, Marv, you up?
All right, bruh. My opinion of Season 2, I think it's average. It's mediocre. I think, to me, for this to be a second season for this game, it's lacking in content, and I don't understand why. We got rumors of another Call of Duty coming out the same year, apparently. When they said that wasn't going to be the case, and that this is going to be a gap year Call of Duty. I like the Resurgence. It's cool. I like the new weapons that they've inputted in the game. But again, it's just the same old cycle. I'm kind of tired of there's no original content. Like, we got a Sheikah Island, which is cool. But so far as on the multiplayer side, like, what do we have? We just got refurbished old maps. You're going to give me Dome from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Great. Like, you gave us a museum, which we had in the beta, so that's not really new. It's just y'all had to work out whatever legal reasons you had from the actual location itself in real life. And to be honest, I've played it a few times. It looks the exact same, so I don't know what the holdup was with that, but I don't think that really was the case. So I'm just kind of like, that could have just been released in the first part of the game. I'm still wondering what the Spec Ops is going to be. So far, things that I like kind of some of the new Warzone dynamics where you just automatically pick up things, you play faster, you can run and play. You start off with, a 3-piece versus having to search for them. But good old Call of Duty fashion. Whenever they fix something, they have to break another thing. So I don't know if you all noticed this, but there's no kill cams. Have you all noticed that?
I have noticed that, yeah. But
No
then
kill cams.
but then again,
I
I will
haven't
say
really
though,
played multi that much to be honest with you. And then when I do play hardcore, they don't really show you kill cams in hardcore anyway.
hardcore, right,
So,
Right. Which is cool. I understand it. That's fine. But like, really, thing that Call of Duty's known for, kill cam. You snatch those out. So that's that. For mode. Better you actually get to see what you're doing versus it just not being that at all. I still wish there was a minor HUD in hardcore mode, but it is what it is. It seems like the guns are a bit more balanced than realism mode was with the first rendition of what they did with tier 1, whereas like pistols and basically sniper rifles do the exact same thing, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous. To me, I just feel like they're just not investing a lot in this game. Even with the battle pass, like, it's okay. Like, it's cool content. I like this content this time around versus whatever they did for the season 1 release. I know they kind of did that around the World Cup. I'm like, I really don't care about the World Cup. I wasn't going to buy those characters anyway. But I think the skins have kind of gotten a little bit more interesting, but it leaves a lot to be desired, man. A lot to be desired. I'm to the point now where, like, I just don't want this to turn out like Halo. And I'm still holding on to it. I mean, Warzone is still pretty much my bread and butter. I don't too much care about multi, but you got to kind of play multi in order to feed into Warzone. So it's like an inevitable, just infectious trip you have to go on it. But it's not bad. It's just meh. Not interesting. Not intriguing. Not intriguing compared to what else is on the market, in my opinion, right now.
Well, that's the question. What else is on the market? Hogwarts Legacy is the only thing else on the market. So
you got Hogwarts Legacy. You got Hi-Fi. Other than that, man, I mean, to be real, bro, like, not much. Industry kind of, some go at the shake around here, man.
there's some games. We have Atomic Heart coming out. Horizon has a new VR game. Is it called Call of the Mountain, I believe, or is that DLC?
it's a VR, but most of us don't have VR, so most of us won't play that.
Yeah. We also have Star Wars Jedi coming out this year. We have Resident Evil 4 coming out.
Yeah.
Wolong Fallen Dynasty is coming out in March, I believe, and we do have the Ishin, like a dragon. It's a Yakuza franchise game that takes place in I don't know what you call it, not medieval Japan, but back in the old days of Japan with the samurai. So there's a couple of games. There's a couple of games coming out. Don't forget Redfall 2 coming out later, too. So yeah, some games out there.
That's the key word, coming out. There's nothing else out
we
now.
We don't even know if they're coming out. That's the thing too.
Well, the majority of the games that they're coming out. So Atomic Heart is coming out February 21st. Wild Hearts is already out. Like a Dragon is coming out 21st as well. What else? What other good games? The March 23, we'll have Wolong Fallen Dynasty out March 3rd. Resident Evil 4 will be out on March 24th. So next month we do have some good games coming out, and then April has some good stuff coming out with Dead Island 2, Star Wars. Yeah. So yeah, it's coming. Look like June is really going to be that month though. June has Street Fighter 6, Diablo 4, which I'm trying to convert y'all to get with me. Diablo 4 is going to be awesome. Final Fantasy 16. Telling y'all know what y'all missing out. It's a great game.
We're gonna see, bro.
After Star Wars, there's only one game I care about. You already know that. I don't really care about nothing else after that. So they need to go ahead and release that information so we know when it's coming out. But
what? Starfield?
Oh yeah, that's really it. I don't really care about anything else after Star Wars comes out.
The video game industry has got me consistently on a we gonna see basis, bro. These people playing, bro. We gonna see. That's how I feel with all of it. We gonna see.
Yep.
Cause this is crazy out here.
I mean, honestly, I don't really have too much to add to what y'all said on Call of Duty. Like I said last time, I was really looking forward to skins basically because it seems like on the first 3 games since 2019, they've had new skins every week, and it seems like we've had the same 10 skins in the store for the last 2.5 months since the game came out. The new Samurai one is actually not bad, but it's the only new skin I believe that's in there right now. So yeah, I mean, I'm just waiting for them to drop that. The guns are good so far. They brought the A12 back in spirit with the KV, so happy about that. I just got to level it up now because you got to level up in multiplayer. But yeah, the guns are good. The Ashika Island thing is actually pretty cool. It's just you had to play a totally different style of Warzone than you do on Al Mazrah, so that's pretty cool. It's a nice feel, but you got to play with 4 players. The only thing I don't like about that is don't tell me that I can play that with 1 person, 2 people, 3 people, or 4 people. Then when the game drops, it's only 4-person mode that's currently available. So
That's what I'm saying.
I
Man.
hate that they do that for some reason because they tell us, oh yeah, you can do it in 4 different modes, and then the game comes out or the mode comes out, and you can only do it with 4 people. So it's just like, just say that the other 3 are coming soon. Don't tell me that, and then I get on there, you have to play with 4 people. So
Right.
Other than that, though, I mean, it's cool. Like Marvin said, it's nothing crazy with this one. The raid is supposed to be coming out episode 2. That hasn't dropped yet either, so that'll probably be next couple of weeks, probably for that. But yeah, the main thing for Call of Duty is for them to keep these people coming. They're gonna have to step their skin game up because I can tell you, I said it last time too. Fortnite killing it. They already talk about they releasing Creed 3 stuff for Fortnite. I'm just like, these dudes do skins for anything. So it's just like, bro, like, come on now, like y'all gotta do something, bro. Like they're utilizing the same people. They're using Ronin, who was in the game last year. They brought him back like he's a new character. Nope, he was in the game last year. So
right.
Like let's get something new. Get some new characters. Partner with some other, some leagues or some old movies or some whatever you gotta do. But they gotta step it up, man.
They need to make a weapon skin generator and you make your own. I don't know why no one's thought about that.
Yeah, because if they
make too much money,
people ain't gonna buy it. Yeah, and people ain't gonna buy the other stuff. They start doing that.
Well, make people pay for it. You monetize everything else.
I mean, they still could make money if they sell like, of course, just sell the gear, clothes.
Pieces.
Still make money like that.
Right.
They could. Y'all are correct. But they ain't got so much money that, like Marvin said, they just resting on their laurels. They chilling. So
they too money hungry, and that it's not helping them out at all. Because I'm just like, bruh, Counter-Strike, which is free and has been out for God knows how long, is still beating Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 in numbers on Steam. And this is Counter-Strike, bruh. I haven't played Counter-Strike since 2005.
Yeah, same here. So
like what it's just, man. Activision, bruh. I'm not resting my laurels on these people.
Yeah. Speaking of Activision too, I don't know about y'all. I'm kind of getting worried about this whole Activision deal. I don't know if Xbox will be able to pull it through. How y'all feel about that?
Bobby Kotick is to blame. Whoever it is, it's all greed.
I just know that if this Xbox deal doesn't go through, then it's going to create a precedent for the whole industry. And to be honest, this is going to open up a bigger can of worms because it does seem like the EU and several of the other authorities over this, other trade commissions that's looking over this, are definitely biased to PlayStation. And it doesn't seem like Microsoft isn't getting a fair deal here. But this is not to say that Microsoft is going to lose, but it's just right now it looks like everybody's against them. And we just got to just continue to see how this plays out. Really, just gotta see how it plays out, man. You just gotta see how it plays out. That's all I can say.
Mhm.
I'm with you. I mean, it does seem like it's biased because they released numbers the other day that PlayStation made $8 billion more in the gaming space than Microsoft did last year, and like 10 million more than something else. I forgot what it was, but um, they're consistently making crazy money every year. And tell me why, like whenever a game is released, there's always special content for PlayStation. It don't matter what game it is. It's like Hogwarts Legacy came out. That is not a specific PlayStation game. It's just a regular game that comes out on all platforms. And there's two special missions that you can do and a special side quest thing that you can do that's only on PlayStation. Like, and this happens for like a lot of games I'm seeing. Like, you never see like specialized to Xbox. Here's a couple of missions like for games. It's only on PlayStation. Like it's Call of Duty, Hogwarts Legacy, even like 2K and stuff was doing shit like that for a while. And it's just like, why has every game come out and there's always something special only for PlayStation? Like I'm really wondering why it's like that. But then they want to buy Activision and it's a problem. But I mean,
Right.
I just don't. I'm not equating like how is that working out? So yeah,
Right.
it's interesting, man. Like everyone's ruling against it. They're trying to do this, but I honestly think, and this is crazy, but if they turn this down, Microsoft's gonna get petty and they're gonna try to buy something even bigger than Activision. So I would hope that they just chill out and let them get it,
Yeah.
because like you said, it will be a precedent in the space for sure. I would not let my PlayStation buy shit after this if Microsoft doesn't get this deal. I'm
Well,
raising hell if they try to buy it.
To comment on that, people are even saying like once if the deal goes through, then PlayStation is going to try to buy Square Enix. And I would even say, shit, if the deal doesn't go through, then Xbox should go buy Square Enix. To be honest, but my thing is, the problem is like a lot of Japanese companies are going to stick with their Japanese counterparts. So
Pretty much.
they're not going to want to sell to an American company. But Activision is an American company. It's not a Japanese
Exactly.
company. So this will work better in Microsoft's favor. But yeah, man, it's crazy. And like you said too, like even with Call of Duty has the samurai stuff that we're having in season 2. Like there was samurai stuff that
In season
PlayStation
1.
people got. Yeah,
Yep.
that PlayStation got from Call of Duty.
Yep.
So I don't know, man. It just seems kind of biased, and I think a bigger, like I said, if this deal doesn't go through, a precedent will be created, and I can see boycott going on. To be honest, I can see a possible boycott by gamers, attacking the Federal Trade Commission and the European Union, because if PlayStation does go and grab another company after this, it's going to be a problem.
They need to give us an explanation of why that deal is okay and why Xbox deal wasn't. And it needs to be a thorough explanation, not just because, this deal doesn't include Call of Duty. I want a breakdown of like why it's okay for them to keep purchasing things when they already have Spider-Man, they already have God of War, they already have all these specific games that are only coming out on PlayStation. Xbox wants to own basically Call of Duty and some subsidiary games that aren't as big as that through Activision, or they'll get some other games too, but one game should not define the entire deal.
Right.
So it'd be a difference if they were buying like a company that had God of War and Spider-Man. Like if they had like 3 crazy games and they were trying to take advantage of all of them and make them all Xbox, it'd be a difference. But it's literally one game that people are worried about, and that's Call of Duty. When currently Xbox has no exclusive except for Halo. So I'm just like, come on, bro.
Yep, that is true.
But yeah, we'll see, man.
All about that money, man.
Yeah. Moving on to the bigger conversation we want to have, that probably be the rest of the podcast. Let's talk about Hogwarts Legacy. First and foremost, before we get into like gameplay and all that kind of stuff, we all know that there was a big issue surrounding J.K. Rowling, some comments that she made before this game was released. Actually, it was a couple years ago when she made the comments, but it's been a big thing that has surrounded Hogwarts Legacy in general, where a lot of people on Twitch, YouTubers, different people were coming out saying basically not to buy the game and not to support J.K. Rowling. So I'm gonna let y'all speak on it. I'll give my take in a minute, but how do y'all feel about this whole situation, especially knowing that this game has now broken crazy amount of records on Steam, first week sales, different things like that. How do y'all feel about the situation around Hogwarts Legacy and J.K. Rowling?
Well, first off, I want to say that, I don't want to put any of y'all on a block and be responsible for anything that I say. So I'm going to stand alone when I say this. This is purely my opinion, not EJ or Marv's. And I also want to say that, we focus on gaming here and popular culture, movies and TV and film. I mean, that's not to say that we won't ever cover politics, because we do cover some politics, but that's not our focus. But unfortunately, sometimes gaming is caught in the crosshairs of politics. And in this particular situation, is caught into identity politics. And, here's the thing. I just want to say that it is completely unfair to label people who simply want to enjoy Hogwarts Legacy transphobes and murderers. That is completely asinine, completely illogical. I was telling fellas earlier, I don't even follow J.K. Rowling. I don't follow her on Twitter. I don't even follow Stephen King, and Stephen King is one of my favorite writers. I don't even follow Stephen King on social media. So I'm getting caught with a bullet with strays just because I want to enjoy, a Harry Potter game that I've always asked for and dreamed of since I was a kid. And when I think about it, I've never really paid too much attention to J.K. Rowling. I've really paid most of my attention to the books and the films. So I do recognize that J.K. Rowling is a great writer. I do love her writing. But I was never like a J.K. Rowling fan. I was a fan of her IP, which she wrote, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. I was a fan of that. The other thing too is, I think it's easy to be mad on Mad Day, but the problem is that we can't pick and choose when we want to be mad. So it's unclear to me how we can just all of a sudden start boycotting something, and we don't boycott everything else. But to stay on Harry Potter though, I don't see. A lot of people have said this, but I've been to Universal within the past 2 years, and I ain't see nobody boycotting the Hogwarts attraction at Universal Studios. I don't see anyone boycotting continued sales of the books. I don't see anybody boycotting the Harry Potter movies, even the HBO special that HBO just put on within the 2 years ago.
Last year.
Yeah. So I don't understand. I don't understand that. I don't understand. No one was boycotting stuff. I believe that Daniel Radcliffe and some of the cast, I think they spoke on it.
Yeah. And they don't support what you said either.
What you say?
I said they don't support what J.K. Rowling says either.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I just think it's completely unfair to sit here and just pick and choose. Hey, we know what this game is going to come out now, and we're going to be mad, and we're going to boycott it. And now the people that play it, you're automatically labeled transphobes. And now I'm being convicted of I feel like I'm being convicted of what you call it, where somebody murder somebody and you are an accomplice. What'd you say?
You guilty by association.
Right.
Yep.
So I don't think that's cool. I don't think that's fair. Look, another thing too is I am totally against people telling me what to do with my hard-earned money. I don't tell nobody else what to do with their money. You can all make suggestions. When we come on here and we review games and we talk about our personal opinions and our reviews, that we're letting you know our opinions. We're not telling you that you don't have to buy the game or you won't enjoy the game. We're not telling you those things. We'll give you our opinions so you can make a logical choice with your money. But don't tell me I can't buy something because of your ideals. You don't know if me and you and I share the same ideals. And and there's people on YouTube talking about, don't buy it, but you can steal it. You can pirate the stuff.
Which is crazy.
This is getting ridiculous. So just make sure that we gotta get back to I understand that J.K. Rowling said some things that, of course, people in the LGBT community do not agree with. I perfectly understand. I perfectly understand that, but you cannot, bring people to hell and tell them what they need to do with their hard-earned money, or label them as such because they want to enjoy this video game that has nothing to do with J.K. Rowling's comments. So I want to say kudos to the Portkey Games and Warner Brothers, who work hard on this game, has brought this game into existence, and for us Harry Potter fans to enjoy. I'm enjoying it so far, and yeah, I'm not with that, and I'm not transphobic, and I'm not homophobic just because you labeled me transphobic because I'm playing this video game. So yeah, that's what I got to say on it, and that's the bottom line.
It's Stone Cold. My opinion on it. Here's my thing, man. We're going through this weird thing again where people want to conflate business with ethics, right? So let me get this very, very clear. I support LGBTQ people, right? And I understand the plight and what their gripe is with J.K. Rowling, because I think that's very legitimate. I mean, if you have somebody who comes out and says the things that she said and puts money towards organizations, that are against trans people, I mean, that's a very valid stance. The thing that I want to be very clear on, and what isn't really, it's a very straw man argument, is that we see this with every opposing viewpoint in America. That's just kind of how America is. We've seen people who are nuanced within oppressed groups that, dislike other oppressed groups, in a sense, concerning race. We see numerous forms of nuance within this as well. I think my biggest thing that people have to understand with this game is that, if you do not like J.K. Rowling's views, you can just simply just not support the game, right? Another thing too is that, okay, if we want to get on social media and create this huge uproar, you want to go at the Twitch streamers because they may have gotten the game for free or the review pack, and you're going to stop, watching them, then that's okay as well. That's your choice. People are going to label folks with titles until the day that they die. That's just what it is, right? You're not going to be able to make everybody happy. I think the biggest thing that what I don't like is in the content space, you got people not being real with themselves. I don't like that, right? I believe in free speech. I also will listen to any opposing viewpoint. The only thing that I don't like is when people have viewpoints that literally incite violence, because that's when things turn a little bit different, right? And yes, there are a lot of groups who say hateful things about trans people that do influence and incite violence, right? So I can understand both sides of the fence. The thing is, when it comes to this game, my thing is just hey man, I don't care how much you sit up here and bitch and whine and cry and say this thing. Let's just be honest, man. The biggest beast of them all, dude, that no one's gonna take care of is capitalism. I don't care what anyone says, bruh. Screw what J.K. Rowling said, man. Hey, if something's fire and people like it, they're gonna buy it. Talk on phones that are made with sweatshop labor. It's not gonna there's so many. If we want to pull straw man arguments out of everything, but it's gonna happen. The thing that I just don't think is fair is that people want to condemn a game that J.K. Rowling just licensed out. She had no involvement in the workmanship of the game itself. And I personally don't believe that people who have sacrificed days and time away from their families in order to do something that they love because the company that they work for took on a job, I don't think it's necessarily fair to label them a certain right for just doing what they were hired to do. That's not their fault. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, if people want to take an ethical stance and not work on the game at the company, possibly leave because they have to work on the game, that's their prerogative of what they want to do with their time, their resources, and their energy, and they have the right to protect their rights. But the mislabeling of people, I don't necessarily like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. And my thing is just like, hey, if that's what people's opinions want to be, that hey, you think I'm going to be X, Y, and Z because I actually enjoyed the game and played, then so be it. I mean, it's not going to change anything at all. I'll say, I still got mad love for you. I still will support you, but hey, niggas is getting these spells off. I don't care what no one says, bro. We getting these spells off, bro. Hey, I said it all the time. I was like, hey, bro, the game fire. The game fire. It'd be a different story if the game was trash. The game was trash, bro. This wouldn't be a discussion. I want people to talk about that too. If the game was trash, this would not be a discussion, bro.
Exactly. Exactly.
People know the game was fire. IGN and all these publications knew about it from the gate because they hear about the news and how good something is before we even get a hold of it. So I don't like hearing that either. So my thing is the only reason why this is an outrage topic and people are as mad as they are is because the game is fire and they know it's going to make waves. If it was lame, we wouldn't be hearing about it. J.K. Rowling said for years, nobody protested the books. Nobody protested the first game that they made that sucked. Nobody protested anything else except now because the game is fire. That's the only reason why we're hearing about this. So, if you really want to have a real conversation, I'll say, dude, this game was not fire, bro. We would not give two shits about it. That's just the reality of it. So, I just don't make these false, like I say, straw man arguments, man.
I mean, Jay brought up a good point. Like, the thing is, you can't pick and choose when you want to be upset. You can't pick and choose people, companies, when you want to be upset and when you don't.
You can do whatever you want to do. I would say I disagree. I think you can do whatever you want to do. My thing is that you can't do this thing, whatever it is. But my thing is that, hey, you also can't pick and choose when you do it and dictate the response that people are going to give because of your hypocrisy. That's all that is.
But that ties into what I'm saying though. Like, I have to disagree. I don't think you can, because the same people that are going against this game and J.K. Rowling's are the same people that wear Nikes every day. Nike has been known to use child labor since they've been in existence. They're not boycotting Nike. You still buying Nike. You still buying Jordans. You still buying, you still buying the Nike Tag outfits. You still buying all this shit. And you can choose to support Nike, even though you know that they have sweatshops all over the world. But you don't want to support this with J.K. Rowling because she created something, but she has nothing to do with the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, Apple is also known to do that. iPhones are some of the highest selling phones in the world. Apple makes trillions of dollars. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't pick and choose what's okay and what you will and you won't accept, because if that's the case, we need to boycott everything. You can't just boycott one thing because you don't like this, but it's okay for somebody else to do that. Same thing with these designers. You know, Marv, these designers who are racist as hell. Still wearing their clothes, you still doing this stuff, and you know that they're racist, that they're oppressive to certain. It doesn't stop anything. So my thing is, don't pick and choose. You can do all this other stuff, but then all of a sudden, this is big enough for me to speak on or talk about right now. Because if that's the case, stand strong on your word for everything. Make sure all these companies that are doing this stuff that's illegal and that is wrong, they need to stop doing it as well. And you need to stop your support and your business of these other companies as well. The people that made this game and Portkey Games, they spent too much time. People have put too much effort over the last 5 to 6 years of their lives into this game for you to all of a sudden tell people, stop buying this. Because if the game does wrong, if the game does bad, that affects them and their jobs and how they're able to feed their families. When these people had nothing to do with J.K. Rowling. They didn't say what she said. She was consulted on the project, of course, because it's her IP.
It's her IP.
It is what it is. But they made the game. They wrote the story. They ran it by her. She said, okay, yes, and she's going to get some money on it because, first off, she gets money from them even being able to license the Harry Potter name. So she's going to get paid up front right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so my thing is just be fair about what you're doing. And if you're going to do something, you need to keep the same energy with everybody else, with all these other companies and people that say stuff that you don't like. You know, you got presidents out here saying wild stuff, people still supporting them. You got people in the media saying wild stuff, you still supporting them. You got artists, musicians, you know what I'm saying? Like, so my thing is like, we need to keep the same energy with everybody. We can't pick and choose, oh, well, today is this person. Let's just go off on her, whatever she said, or whatever. Let's not support. I don't agree with it, man. It's just, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't sit right with me at all. And the main reason, like I said, is because you got people who have put their lives and their effort into making this game. They're making a video game that all of us have wanted to play since '98, bro. I was 10 years old when Harry Potter first came out. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't read all of them, but I read 3 or 4 of the Harry Potter books. I've seen all the movies. Everybody wants or has wanted to be a part of this universe, and so getting a chance to do this in this game is just something that people have wanted to do forever. And like you said, Marv, nobody will be talking about this if the game wasn't good. So it's just like, oh, now because you see that the game actually is about something and it's going to make a lot of money, let's hurt, poor key games by not supporting it because J.K. Rowling has something to do with it or she gets paid off of it. It's just real stupid to me. I mean, we can dive into the gameplay a little bit later on, but I just feel like keep the same energy, man. That's all it is. And like Jay said, you're not gonna label me transphobic or homophobic because I bought a video game. You're not gonna do that. Especially like I said, when this is a game where I'm worried about the characters. I'm worried about the story. What's in Harry Potter has nothing to do with J.K. Rowling's personal views at all. She didn't make a game where the characters in the game or the characters in the books are reflective of the views that she currently has. You see what I'm saying? None of us are saying that we support what J.K. Rowling said. We're talking about we wanted to play a video game based off of a character that she made in the fantasy world. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, man, I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm not going to let anybody stop me from enjoying it, because you want to write articles where instead of talking about the video game, all you do for the entire article is talk about what J.K. Rowling said 2 years ago and why people who buy the game are heartless and we don't care about other individuals and stuff like that. Like, I'm not even gonna let that worry me, because that has nothing to do with me or the people who are buying this game. Are there some bad apples? Of course, but I mean, most of the people, like I can guarantee you, most of the people I read comments on IGN, on all these other websites, these people just want to play a Harry Potter game, a good Harry Potter game that they finally got a chance to play in like the last 10 years. So, like I said, I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna keep enjoying it, and I'm not gonna talk about or try to label anybody else who decides to play the game.
And I'll add one more thing. We, like EJ said, just to compound on that even further, just because you label somebody a transphobe or homophobe, that does not make it true. You just labeling somebody because you mad. You don't know if we have trans members in our families, members of the LGBT in our families. And to be honest, I've done my research. I've been keeping up with this topic for the past 2 weeks. And there's a lot of gay and trans people playing this game, and they love it. Yeah. So there's this community.
Thing, you can be what you want to be. If that's a label you're going to give me, okay, so be it. Like... people get you labeled a player hater, or you lame, or bro, you not cool, you're weak. Like, what it is. Right. I think the thing is that, like, if people want titles and people to be offended by titles, by all means. My thing is just like, hey, I wish people had that same energy, man, concerning, hey, man, being labeled a racist. But they don't, man. It is what it is. I'm not here to draw straw man arguments, man. It's just like, bro, it's a video game.
But wait, Marv. Like this. I think the point is, though, like Marv made a point off podcast when we were talking about it. I think the problem with the labeling is, like, for us, we're not big, we're not big like a lot of these content creators are, but you have a lot of content creators with huge followings. And like Marv said, was telling me off, there's a lot of content creators that's faking, trying to be, virtual signaling, and they even scared to play the game because they don't want to be canceled, because they don't want that label. Right. And you have a lot of them,
even though they're not that. That's the main.
Exactly. So now,
which is crazy. To add into that is that here's the wild thing about even that, and people trying to placate and virtual signal and make money. You literally don't have to play or review this game at all. You don't even have to talk about it, bro. That's the crazy thing about it. I was like, of games you all don't talk about. So why is this game any different? Because again, people want to jump on stories and they want to make great content they want to make the trendy content. And I'm just like, make great content. That's all it is, bro.
Another thing too,
and that's all we talk about. And that would have just been that. And we didn't have to mention Hogwarts Legacy, but we play the game and we enjoy it, and it's a part of not only our childhoods, but it's something that we've been looking forward to. So the fact that us enjoying the game and even being able to make great content is overshadowed by this political debate. I'm like, bro, it's video games. Like, I don't care about politics, fam. Is the game good? Does it play good? Like, does it have good mechanics? Like, let's get into how
But
good
Marv,
of development.
Marv, let me
Like,
pause you on that one. I gotta pause you on that one because see, I thought about that too, and I wanted to say that, but I want to be careful with our words because I don't want that to mean we don't care about people, and we're putting the game because that'll be the first thing people will say. Oh, well, you putting the game over, human lives
and we
right?
can
You know
make
what I'm
the
saying?
disclaimer all day long, man. People are going to believe what they're going to believe, and they're going to
Exactly.
feel, and I can't tell people how to feel.
But I want to say though, we can't tell people how to feel. But I also want to say though is one of my biggest arguments toward that is y'all got to be consistent with y'all anger. Just like we just said earlier, what EJ said, you can't choose when to be mad. So if you're gonna label somebody, I want to see the history behind that label. You're gonna boycott something, I want to see the history behind the boycott. So if we, come out, I want to see the receipts. And I'm just saying, I'm pulling out the receipts, and none of this shit is adding up. So let's get it. Let's put it out in the air. If you're gonna boycott something, where the other boycotts at? Let's be real.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Because there's been a lot of things in gaming that people could have boycotted over that they didn't. Women involvement in games, just not even on the screen, but behind the scenes, as far as hiring women in certain positions of power, et cetera, different things like that. African American presence in games, which we've been griping about since before we started podcasting our whole entire lives.
The thing about it, we've been begging for a game that authentically represented us, and this game gave us that.
Which this game does.
Yes.
And
exactly.
now there's a controversy about one community who felt like they got left out, which is legitimate. Hey, dog. Just like they had to learn for over 30 years how to understand black people with this, welcome to the starting lineup, bruh. Hey, you can get in here and have the same struggle and fight for that as well. You all can fight for representation just like every other oppressed group in the world has, bruh. Like, welcome. But it feels like they have to fight.
Like I said, like Jay said it perfectly though. Like, we're not trying to tell people how to feel. We're not trying to say we don't care about different groups of people on this planet. We're not saying that at all. What Jay said is 100% correct. Keep the same energy with everything. When games are coming out and there's not any black creators doing stuff, or there's not any black characters and all this stuff like that, we need people to step up and boycott games that aren't including, people of color or, multicultural. We need people to step up and do that for that. There's when games are not showing women or not having women as lead main characters, we need people to show up and boycott and step up and say, that is wrong for that kind of stuff too. You're not just going to single out one specific topic and make it seem like this is the only thing that matters, when we need to keep the same energy with everything. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's do that. It's not like we don't care. We do care. None of us have trans views or anything like that on this channel at all. The thing we're trying to point out, like Jay said, is you just got to keep the same energy, man. And this is more than just something about someone's words who had nothing to do with this game. This is about supporting the developers and the people who are feeding their families off of the money that they're going to make from making this game. And that's the only thing I'm trying to get across.
Yep. That's all I got to say. Aside from that, I am enjoying the game. Do we want to talk about
game fire?
The game is fire. The game is fire.
Let's get to the reality of the fact of the matter. But game fire, cuz.
I mean, the same way Marv last year in March was saying that Elden Ring was game of the year. At this stage of the year so far, and I know we're only 7 weeks into the year.
Game of the year.
But at this current state in time of the year, this is the game of the year so far.
Easy.
Yes.
Marvin and Jay just spoke on it. The inclusion that they did in the character creation. This is the first time I've ever seen African American characters in a character creation screen actually have black features, hair, skin tone, just the noses, the cheekbones, like they look like black people. It's not a white skin that you can just shade darker. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell that they actually spent some time on this. And I mean, just more than that, just the gameplay overall, the story is good, the gameplay mechanics are good, what you're able to do. Because I remember when I was actually getting into this, the first thing I was saying was like, how are you going to build a game about Hogwarts and it just be at Hogwarts? I mean, it'll be fun, but it's just like there's only so many classrooms and so many areas you can go to and do stuff in. Then when they released the footage and started talking about what you can do, and then us actually jumping in and seeing like it's a whole world that you can basically go into, different towns, Hogsmeade, different places to go to, caves and under the school and stuff like it. They did their thing with this game, bro. They really did.
Yes, they did. I just I was worried because I wasn't sure exactly how many spells you would be able to do, but there's just so many spells and stuff from the game, spells that I didn't even know of that you can use. The combat is very Arkham, Lord of the Rings type with the counters and stuff like that. But the great thing about the game for the most part is not only does this game look beautiful, and there's like 3 graphical modes. I don't know which graphical mode you're playing in, but I know there's performance mode, another mode that favors fidelity, and then you have a mode that tries to balance the performance and fidelity at the same time, which I'm using right now. And of course, the performance is high frame rate, but the world not only looks beautiful, but man, the level of design and detail of everything. As I put clips on our social media, just walking through Hogwarts, walking through the corridors, walking through the hallways, watching the paintings move, watching ghosts just randomly appear up. You got to walk through one hallway and all of the paintings are having like a musical orchestra going on. And all the paintings have their own. You look at the painting, everybody got their instruments, and they're literally having like a jam session. You know what I'm saying? That's amazing to me. It's just cool. You listen to the conversations, you walking past people, and it's a living, breathing world. People are having conversations, talking about their day at Hogwarts, talking about the teachers and classes and stuff like that. You can go visit areas from the movies and the books, and you can look at the landscape and just try to compare and contrast, all of the changes and stuff like that. Almost every door in Hogwarts is you can be entered. I really can't think of a lot of doors that weren't open to me.
That is true, unless they're locked for Alohomora, which you end up getting a chance to access at some point anyway.
Exactly. Just amazing. The flight, the broom flying feels great. Very fluid. Yes. I love it. I can't complain. I haven't gotten to. You can speak more on the animals. I haven't got to flying the animals yet, the beasts yet, but just flight alone when it comes from the broom perspective, amazing. I got to get a better broom design though, because the one I have is it's fire, but I need something that I need that Nimbus 2000 broom. So,
2000.
Hey, yeah. I mean, they've done an outstanding job, and like Jay was saying, like when you get to certain parts of the game, and it seems like every time you get to a certain part of the game, more and more stuff unlocks. Like I was playing the game at first, and I was only in Hogwarts. Then I was able to step outside, and I was able to go to Hogsmeade. Then after Hogsmeade, I was able to go back and come back, and then step out and do other cities and towns around the area. And then I was able to get a broom, and I was able to fly to more parts of the area. There's still parts of the map right now, and I've been playing for close to 2.5 weeks now, that I still haven't accessed yet. There's tunnel systems, there's cave systems, all the different beasts. Like there's a whole other part of the game to where I guess it kind of ties in off of Fantastic Beasts in that movie, where you can actually help save these different animals that are out in the wild, and you can raise them and bring them back to health, different kind of stuff like that. And I think there's somewhere between 15 to 20 different types of beasts that you can actually get, and that you can actually raise back up, and then not just sell, but like help get into like better homes or better areas to where they're not getting attacked by poachers in the wild. Like it's just so much that's in this game that you can do aside from like the main storyline and the quests. Like you were saying, Jay, like just the different side quests and stuff you can do with the people that are just talking about things that they're doing every day in class. more so than just like the character creation, but you can see the different nationalities and ethnicities represented in this game. Like there's, Asian, Black, Native American, Hispanic. Like you can just see the different types of kids that are on the school campus. And when you go to different towns, even more so than you saw in like in the movies. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of stuff is just represented really well. It plays great. Combat is something like you mentioned, Jay, that I'm thoroughly impressed with because I didn't understand how they were going to lend that to the game after watching the movies and reading some of the books. But they found a good way to do it. You kind of got like that spidey sense thing to help you, dodge when you need to dodge or to block when you need to block. So I'm enjoying it, man. I have not a lot of negatives. I mean, the only negative that I would say is we spoke on this earlier too, and that was it's hard to make money at the beginning of the game.
Right.
Especially when a couple quests require you to do stuff that costs 2,000 coins and you have like 200. So that's kind of crazy, up front with you not being able to make a lot of money. Then the only major gripe I have is the system of trying to gather different clothing pieces, which the clothing in this game is also fire. I don't think we touched on that either. But there's a system in there, and the inventory system is kind of trash because it's like you have to keep doing these Merlin trials to unlock more and more slots. But the thing is, you automatically take up 6 to 8 slots based off of whatever you're wearing. So it always feels like you're either trying to sell stuff that you don't want to sell, or you're trying to delete stuff so you can make room for other things you find on quests. They got to fix that. But other than that, man, the game is flawless. So
right,
I'm enjoying it.
That and the customization is deep as well. I do want to touch on that too. Customization with the gear and stuff like that. You get a bunch of gear. They took a tip from Assassin's Creed, where Assassin's Creed was able. There was so much gear in Assassin's Creed that you kind of didn't want to always wear the wacky gear, and you wanted to kind of keep the coolness of the style that you kind of made with the customization. And they added change the appearance of the items, and they added that in here, so you don't have to keep changing through some of the not lamer clothes, but some of the less cool clothes that you might not like. You could just change the appearance of some of the high level gear to whatever you want, and that's pretty cool too. Because I'm walking into class with the Death Eater looking suit on and everything. Everybody probably wondering why I'm not in my typical Gryffindor cloak. Already looking like I'm about to be the next Dark Lord. See that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, bro. This is like we were talking about. This is what I wanted. This is what I've been waiting for. And it's funny story. Dorian was watching me play something, and she said, "Do you meet Harry Potter in this game?" I said, "No, fuck Harry Potter." I said, "This is my story."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's like, fuck Harry Potter. This is my story. I'm the chosen one in this game.
Speaking on that, Jay is 100% correct. I love the fact that it is centered around your character. I will say, going forward, considering the fact that this game takes place like really deep into the past, when they make more, inevitably, because the game is doing so well that they're gonna make another one,
yes,
or DLC or whatever. I would love to see in the future at some point where we come up to the point to where Harry is in the universe and maybe stuff ties into it. Like, I want the stories that we're telling right now, even though it's not centered on a specific person, but I would love for them to just be entrenched and ingrained into the Harry Potter universe. So it's kind of like you can see, all this flowed and tied into the point to where you get to Harry. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, I'm struggling to find something bad about it. Honestly.
I'll just say this. I disagree with that, actually. I actually don't want this to have anything to do with Harry, because if they plan on making this a franchise, this is our fifth. The game starts off being in your 5th year, so that you got it goes all the way to 12 years, right? In Hogwarts, it's like high school. So you got a couple of more games. You got a few more games to go, and I honestly, and this takes place 100 years before the events of Harry Potter. So that means you have plenty of time to develop this story. I mean, of course, I think at some point other characters from the universe are going to start coming into the pictures. Like at some point, Dumbledore has to come in. You know what I'm saying? Some certain characters, a young Professor McGonagall is going to have to come in. Certain characters from the movies are going to have to come in. But if personally, I want this to focus on my character. Like Harry had his story, we know what happens, but I want my character to be the focus. I want my Black Wizard to be the focus. So,
but see, that's the thing. You can have your character be the focus of the story, and these can all be about you. There needs to be threads. It's kind of like when you watch Marvel, and we complain about movies that tell a story, but they have no threads. I can't remember what movie it was that we specifically talked about this. I think it might have been Eternals, where it was like, damn, the movie's good, but there's no connecting threads to the overall Marvel universe. And while this game does have threads, because you can go to like certain places that you recognize, like I saw the place where Harry did his first Patronus at. There's also different stuff in the castle where I'm like, okay, the characters from the movie were there at certain points in the movie too. There has to be connecting threads. I'm not saying that we have to focus and all of a sudden it's like, forget your main dude, now let's focus on Harry. I don't want to play as Harry. I don't want to play as Hermione, Ron, none of them. But I would love to see as we get down the road, your guy can still tell and live his own story, and he can be Dumbledore's favorite student or whatever. But you just see, like you said, Snape might come into the picture where Snape ties into Harry Potter, obviously, or Professor McGonagall, she ties in. She could be teaching something that, you know, in a future game that you have to go to class and learn stuff from her. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I mean when I say ties into Harry Potter. I'm not saying take the element or the focus off of who you are and what your Harry Potter story is. But like the Marvel Cinematic Universe needs to do, which they've strayed away from recently, is until Kang, we just need threads that tie in, so you could just be like, oh, that makes sense, and that goes with this, and that's what I saw from Harry Potter. Or, you know, maybe like in one of the games in the future, instead of the Nimbus 2000, it's the Nimbus 500. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like you see where stuff starts
right.
off, and it makes its way to Harry and his universe. That doesn't take away from you having your own stories, having your own villains. You could even have different headmasters, like we have Phineas Black right now, or whatever his name is. Like, we can still have our own different characters, but we just need certain elements to tie back into the storyline at some point. Because right now, there are some, obviously, you have Professor Weasley, who's obviously a descendant of Ron and his family. Phineas Black, who is descendant of, you know, Sirius and Bellatrix Lestrange and all them. Like, they all tie into that. You know, you have some thread, but I'm just saying I need some more going forward. That's all I'm saying.
Gotcha.
But like I said, even now with the game the way it is and the story the way it is, for me, it's a 10 out of 10 right now. It is. So.
Okay. Right now, yeah, 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. Currently my game of the year.
Yep. I reserve the right to change my mind when a certain game comes out later. But for right now, I'm 100% on board with Harry Potter being game of the year.
I'm riding with Harry, bro.
I'm riding with Harry till something better come out.
I don't know if that's going to be the case, though.
Right. That's why I said until. We never know. We don't know. It might not. But for right now, I ride with Harry. If something better come out, then hey, Harry moved to second.
Yep. We'll see. Well, Harry does have some challenges this year, so we'll see.
He does.
We'll see.
He does.
Or should I say, Jeremy Gaines, fifth year Gryffindor, has some challenges this year.
Oh man. But yeah, I think you took care of most of the games that are getting ready to come out. I think the next big one is going to be Star Wars. But I'm interested to see how that Star Wars, Jedi Survivor. Right?
I thought you were trying to joke. I didn't know if you was making a joke about Star Wars.
No. I'm saying the next big game is Jedi Survivor, which is a Star Wars game. I'm interested to see how that carries on from the first one. I think that has a chance to contend, but we'll see, because the first one, Jedi Fallen Order, was fire. Yes. So
yes.
If this game is anything like that, if they improve on the first one, Harry gonna have some competition. But that's a good thing, though. Competition is great in games. It means we play more than one game this year. We all can't just play Call of Duty every day. So
exactly. Like some people.
So competition, exactly.
Great.
So competition is great in the gaming space, because that means we're all playing different stuff. So, I'm looking forward to the rest of the year, and whenever Starfield does decide to pop up. So,
yep, I'm with it.
All right, fellas. Well, that is it. Y'all got anything else to add?
Nah, I think that's a good place, man.
All right. Well, as usual, thanks for tuning in. Thank y'all for listening. More podcasts on the way. Some big games coming up for the rest of the year. Continue to support us on all our social media platforms as well. So we appreciate y'all. And we'll holler at y'all later. Peace.
Peace.
Feel free to follow us on all social media platforms. Catch us over on Spotify at the SHU Program and any other DSPs that you prefer to listen to podcasts on. Also follow us over on Instagram at the SHU Program. Follow us on Twitter at SHU_program. And also tap in with us, man. Ask any questions. Feel free to follow, DM us, reach out. If you like anything, follow us on YouTube. Please let us know, man. We really, really appreciate you all listening. We appreciate you all's feedback and tapping in with us content-wise, man. We would love to get to know you and figure out who's listening to us and what you all would like to see, and just for showing us consistent love week after week. Thank you all so much.